Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Mehio Joseph. Today on this channel we'll be looking at a very sensitive topic known as sex drive. Are you a teenager? Are you a young adult who have sexual feelings and don't know the causes of it or how to put it under control? Then stay tuned and watch to the end. Sex drive is the urge to always want to have sex in your body. It is a normal feeling. It is not sinful to want to have sex, because we can liken sexual drive or sex drive to hunger feelings. It is not a sin to be hungry. When you are hungry, what do? You get food and eat. But when you steal to satisfy your hunger, it becomes what? It becomes a sin. Same thing applies to sexual drive. When your sex drive becomes active and you begin to have these sexual feelings, when you go into the act without being married, then your sex drive, you have activated it to become a sin. But ordinarily, it is not a sin. Teenagers have sex drive. There are times in a girl's body, it happens both to male and female. But there are times in ladies' body, or let's say a girl, after your menstruation, the time, the ovulation period, your sex drive, tends to go haywire, because your hormones are trying to do what? Get your body ready for reproduction at that particular point in time. But because you are a teenager and you are not married, you cannot make use of that sex drive at that point in time. How can we recognize this sex drive? When you sit down and you start to feel your body is good, you are beginning to have, you want to have sex, you are beginning to have this sexual feeling. Maybe your breast is becoming tender, you are having uncontrolled feelings in and in your private parts. You should know that your sex drive is becoming active. It happens to male. How do you quench, or how do you put this sex drive under control? Let me tell you, the environment or the society is not helping issues in this at all, because every nooks and crannies of our society have one nude picture or the other. So how do you deal with that? And before I forget, let me quickly chip in this. Boys are moved by what they see. So a boy can see a nude picture and his sex drive begins to, get activated, while girls are what? Moved by touch. So a girl might actually see a nude picture of a boy and not, get any sexual feeling. But in the case of boys, it is not so. How do you now put your sex drive under control? Number one, you must watch what you watch, what you see. Your eyes is a door to your spirit man. You must watch what you watch. As a boy, as a girl, as a teenager, as a youth, you must not be caught watching pornographic picture. You must not be watching nude pictures, because this would only stimulate your sex drive. And if you go into sex or marriage, you should know that you are toiling with fire. There are lots of consequences attached to premarital sex, and I'm sure you don't even want to go into that. Number two, how do you put your sex drive under control? You must avoid unnecessary body contact as a boy or as a girl. Imagine you hugging someone and then you stay, you hold on tight to that person for like 10 minutes. Before you know it, your body is not stone. It is bound to happen. You can begin to have sex from that. Number three, you must watch or be careful of the song you listen to or the music. There are some romantic music that can stir up your sex drive. Number four, you must watch what you read. There are lots of novels outside, M&B magazines that are romantic. I tell you, there is no how you read these magazines that it will not arouse your feelings. So you must be careful. And then stay away from where they are talking about sexual issues, not educative one. But anywhere they are talking about sexual matters that leads to erotic feelings, maybe unnecessary sexual talks, like how a boy slept with a girl, how a girl was this virgin, how they touched some sensitive parts in the body of. When you are hearing such talks among your peers, pick race, because it will only do what? It would stir your sex drive. And another thing, avoid petting, smooching, kissing. It's a peck. It's from somewhere it starts. So it's from somewhere it starts. And the most important part is that you must not be idle. It is said that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So each time you begin to have this sex drive, because you can be alone, and your sex drive, especially for the girls in those ovulation period that I mentioned, your sex drive can get activated by itself. What do you do when it gets activated? Don't be idle. Get busy. Look for something to do. You can take a stroll. You can decide to go and wash clothes. You can decide to sweep. When you get busy, your hormones will come back to normal, telling your body that you are not prepared for that at that particular point in time. But when this sexual feeling starts, and then you sit down, you start nursing it, before you know it, it will bring in a lot of things like masturbation, like watching pornography. Your body is not good. Stay away from any environment that will stimulate your sex drive when you know that you are not married and you are not preparing to get married soon. Please and please, it is very, very important. May the devil not take hold of our ignorance. That is why I have sent this video. Watch it over and over. Watch it over and over. Your sex drive will get activated on its own at times by what you watch, what you listen to, what you hear. So as a teenager, as a young adult of your body, the doors in your body, your eyes, your mouth, your ear, there are other doors, but these ones are very, very important. Stay away from where they are talking about sexual issues that do not even educate you, that do not make sense, to avoid these arousals. And be careful of the movies you watch. You know, I found out these days that some teenagers are very, very, they would say that Bollywood films, that those Indian films, they don't kiss, they don't do this. But let me tell you, the romance level in those movies that you watch is, if not 100%, is about 95%. They romance a lot, and watching those kind of romance film also can stimulate your sex drive. A word, they say, is enough for the wise. I want to believe you have gained something today. Join us next week as we talk about another interesting topic. Stay tuned. I remain your host, Mehio Joseph. Don't touch that dial. Bye.